Alesana is an American rock band from Raleigh, North Carolina. Formed in 2004, the group is currently signed to Revival Recordings and Artery Recordings and have released 2 EPs and 5 full-length studio albums. The band gained a wide audience after their debut, on Frail Wings of Vanity and Wax was released, featuring a musical style shifting between light and heavy sounds along with a wide influence ranging to even classic rock bands such as the Beatles. Their band name is derived from street named Aliceanna Street, which is located in Baltimore where the group originated. History. Formation and Try This With Your Eyes Closed. Although the band's members first began playing together in Baltimore, Maryland, Alesana officially formed in October 2004 in Raleigh, North Carolina and was founded by Sean Meek, Patrick Thompson, Dennis Lee, Stephen Tomini and Daniel Magnuson. The name of the band is inspired from Aliceanna Street, which Sean Meek and Patrick Thompson lived on when playing in Baltimore, MD. Aliceanna Street is located in Fells Point, a neighborhood in Baltimore. Alesana was the first band to join Tragic Hero Records in 2005, and their 3 demo songs titled Apology, Beautiful in Blue, and Goodbye, Good Night for Good were featured on the compilation All the Tragedy Money Can Buy. In May 2005 they released their debut EP, Try This With Your Eyes Closed. Alesana then toured across the United States, including an appearance at the Cornerstone Festival, despite not being a Christian band. In the same year, founding drummer Daniel Magnuson was replaced by Will Anderson. On Frail Wings of Vanity and Wax. In 2006 the group added a new drummer Jeremy Bryan to replace Will Anderson and added guitarist-vocalist Adam Ferguson to their lineup. They followed with a full-length album, entitled On Frail Wings of Vanity and Wax, produced by Kit Walters, during the summer of 2006. In late 2006 Alesana signed to Fearless Records, which re-released their LP in March 2007 to mixed reviews and released a music video for Ambrosia. In the same year, the song Apology in an acoustic version was featured on the compilation release, Punk Goes Acoustic 2. The group played the entire Warped Tour 2007, but afterwards, bassist Stephen Tomini left Alesana. The record is also the first to feature Sean Meek's sister, Melissa, who performs all female vocals. In early 2008, On Frail Wings of Vanity and Wax charted on the Billboard's Heat Seekers chart, peaking at number 44. Where Myth Fades to Legend. In 2008, Alesana finished recording their second album, Where Myth Fades to Legend. It was released on June 3, 2008, but was leaked on popular torrent sites a month beforehand. Where Myth Fades to Legend was also the title of their headlining tour with Sky Eats Airplane, Our Last Night, Love at a Hero, and The Chariot that supported the album. At the time of preparing for the record a year before, the band lacked an official bass player. Shane Crump, who previously played in a band named Your Name in Vain and originally a merchandise salesman for Alesana, was invited into the group after an audition, thus making the record Crump's debut. On the 2008 Warped Tour, Shane Crump briefly left due to personal matters at home and Jake Campbell, formerly of 12 Gauge Valentine, became a temporary fill-in bassist. Upon Crump's return, Adam Ferguson and the band parted ways and Campbell became the new guitarist-vocalist. Shane Crump also took care of all the backing and clean to this point. On January 20, 2009 the music video for Seduction, the song features a few screams made by Ferguson before he left the band. Because of that Shane Crump lip-sync all his screams. On March 10, 2009 the album Punk Goes Pop 2 was released, which includes Alesana's cover of What Goes Around Comes Around by Justin Timberlake. Alesana's Where Myth Fades to Legend has also charted on the Billboard 200 at number 96 and on the Billboard Hard Rock album at number 13. The Emptiness. In late February, Sean Meek announced Alesana had started writing new material for their upcoming album. They began recording their third studio album, in July 2009, in Portland, Oregon, with producer Chris Cromit. The album, according to Sean Meek on the Rave TV, would be entitled The Emptiness. The band has made their progress in the studio viewable to fans through a Twitter account and an official website run by the band themselves. Concluding the band's recording session, which began on July 10, Alesana then set out for North Carolina to rest before they began their Versus tour, which they headlined and included the bands The Bled, Enter Shikari, Broadway, Medina Lake, and Asking Alexandria. On the Versus tour, Alesana's set included 2 new songs titled To Be Scared by an Owl, and The Thespian. Soon after concluding their month-long Versus tour, Alesana headlined the You'd Be Way Cuter in a Coffin tour with From First to Last, Asking Alexandria, The Word Alive and Memphis May Fire. On October 15, Meek and Lee held a second interview with A Rave, where they revealed that they were shooting a music video in the fall for one song from The Emptiness. The 2 members went on to tell Linda, the interviewer, that due to their large fan base in Mexico and South America, they would be releasing a Spanish version of 2 of their songs. Meek also revealed that the album, The Emptiness, was to be released on January 26, 2010. On November 23, Alesana released their first recorded work off of The Emptiness, To Be Scared by an Owl, and began to promote it as a single. The same week, they entered the studio to begin filming their third video, which according to their website, is The Thespian. The song was released on December 8, 2009. In 2009, Alesana won the Best Hardcore Screamo Band at the Rock on Request Awards. The band were also invited to play To Be Scared by an Owl live on the Daily Habit. After the release of their music video for The Thespian on March 17, the group became less active while promoting the 2010 Warped Tour, which they took part in at the end of June. Right before their first venue on the Warped Tour, guitarist Jake Campbell left the band to be with his family, and Alex Torres of Greeley Estates took his place. Upon the release of The Emptiness, it debuted at number 68 on the Billboard 200, which made it the best-selling release by the band during this period. On July 22, 2010, Meek made a statement on the official Revolver website, regarding his constant desire to write scripts, stories and music. Considering The Emptiness his first printed story, Meek went on to say that he is constantly writing, and that new material for an Alesana album as well as material for Wake Me Up, Juliet and Tempting Paris was already being created. After The Emptiness S recording, the group announced a headlining tour entitled, 2 Frail Weeks of Vanity and Wax, in which they performed on Frail Wings of Vanity and Wax in its entirety on each date of the tour, along with confirming that some songs would never be played live again after these concerts. In November 2010, Alesana departed from Fearless and signed to Epitaph Records. A Place Where the Sun is Silent during the beginning of 2011, the band confirmed that plans for a new record were already in the works. Alesana stated that chosen VIPs were involved within the testing of new tracks that were prepared to be included on their 4th studio album. These trackings were recorded during March 2011 with producer Chris Cromit. By the beginning of that summer, Alesana completely finished the record's recording sessions. Alex Torres, Shane Crump, and Dennis Lee shortly thereafter confirmed that the mixing was finished as well and that they had the first master copies published. The name of the album was then announced to be titled, A Place Where the Sun is Silent, and was released on October 18. Before its release, promotion for the record was supported by many magazines, websites and other publications. August 24, 2011 had Alternative Press premiere the first leaked song from the album, entitled A Gilded Masquerade. September 20 had Buzzette streaming A Forbidden Dance on their website as part of a contest for a lyric video. The album thematizes Dante Alighieri's 14th-century epic poem, Inferno. On December 20, 2011, the song Circle 7, Sins of the Lion was voted the best song of 2011 by readers of Revolver. Side projects, Decade EP, Tour and Confessions. In May 2012, Lee began a 4-piece side band named Child of the Jackal with members of the thrash metal band Vanisher, while Meek released Polaroids in July with his side project Tempting Paris. Alesana confirmed later in the year that their 5th studio album is currently in its pre-works, but only in its writing stage so far. The band moved on without guitarist Alex Torres on the evening of August 19, 2012 by asking him to leave. Since then, Jake Campbell has returned to the band. On May 8, 2013 it was announced by Meek that the band left Epitaph Records and the follow-up to A Place Where the Sun Is Silent will be self-released. The pre-production for the new record will start shortly after the You Better Watch Your Mouth, Sunshine tour, and they plan to release this fall. Sean Meek will be the producer and Neil Engel, who also worked on The Emptiness and Dance Gavin Dance's Happiness, will be involved as engineer. Meek stated that the pre-production will start in July. On August 10, 2013 Sean Meek stated, "We're just finishing up with the writing and getting into pre-production. Unregistered trademark S coming out really nice so far. Unregistered trademark S actually the conclusion of the trilogy we began with The Emptiness. I knew the way that The Emptiness ended, I really hoped it would continue." The future plans for the band also contain releasing several EPs. Meek said, "One of the things we want to do after this record is to write and release a series of EPs. You know, drop an EP every 2 months or so for a year and have them all tie together." On September 14, 2013 Revival Recordings posted a couple of Instagram photos of the guys in Alesana working on a brand new song, and stated they are currently in the pre-production process of it. On November 14, 2013 Alesana posted on their Facebook page a picture of the artwork for the new single entitled Fatima Rusauka, which will be released on December 24, 2013. On December 13, 2013 the band streamed their single, Fatima Rusauka, via Revolver magazine. The single features guest vocals from Josh Grosscup of Migos. On January 7, 2014, Sean Meek released a statement about the cancellation of their South American tour. "First off, I would like to thank you for all of the kind words that many of you have shared in regards to our new single Fatima Rusauka unregistered trademark, and for the excitement and enthusiasm you have displayed about our trip to see you in January. I do, however, have some unfortunate news. Due to circumstances that are completely out of our control, the shows have been cancelled. This is a sad day, but we must find the positive in every situation in life. We are recording our new EP in January and February, which means that when we do finally get the opportunity to play for our amazing South American fans, we will have a bunch of new songs to play to go along with all of your favorites, past and present. We miss you and Carly unregistered trademark T. Wait to see you again." On January 13, 2014, the band announced that they will be releasing a brand new EP on April 1, which is called the Decade EP in celebration of their 10th anniversary as a band. The Decade tour will be starting March 7 and last till April 6. Support bands are Get Scared, Hearts and Hands, Farewell, My Love and Migos. Alesana has released a new single Nevermore via revolvermag.com at 10 a.m. East on March 3. On March 27, 2014, Alesana released a new song off of their The Decade EP entitled Double or Nothing via the Artery Recordings YouTube channel. On September 12, 2014 Klitschko Copyright magazine interviewed Sean Meek before their Chaos is the Ladder tour with Migos, The Funeral Portrait and the Things They Carried about their forthcoming album set for a spring release. The album will be the conclusion of the Annabelle trilogy and will be centered around the Time Quintet literary book series by Madeleine L'Engle. The band will also release another single in December. Also via Facebook, the band announced that they will record and release their first live album on December 11 in Raleigh, North Carolina. On February 24, 2015, the band announced via Facebook the third and final part of the Annabelle trilogy of Annabelle. The album will be titled Confessions and will be released through Revival Recordings. The first single Oh, How the Mighty Have Fallen premieres on March 17. In addition to the announcement of Alesana unregistered trademark S new album, the band will be heading out on a nationwide tour with Capture the Crown, The Browning, Conquer Divide, and Revival Recordings label mates The Funeral Portrait. This 29-day tour will begin in Winston-Salem, North Carolina on April 3 and wrap up on May 3 in Dallas, TX. On April 2, 2015 the song Comedy of Errors was premiered on the band's social networks. A video clip for the song was filmed as lead track of Confessions. On April 21, 2015 the band's fifth album Confessions was released. It is the conclusion to the Annabelle trilogy. Musical style and influence. Alesana's overall genre is difficult to determine due to their frequent use of light and poppy influence combined with heavy outputs and metal-influenced screaming vocals. The band has been labeled under many genres like screamo, metalcore, post-hardcore and emacore. Although these are the genres that Alesana is usually classified as, the band has labeled themselves as pop metal and sweetcore. Their clean vocals and lyrics are described as appealing to emo and heavy riffs are described as appealing to metal and hardcore punk fans. Influences for the band include an array of rock bands such as the Beatles, Sonic Youth and Mew. The band is also influenced by an array of metal bands such as the Black Dahlia Murder and Iron Maiden. Members. Timeline. Discography, studio albums, On Frail Wings of Vanity and Wax, Where Myth Fades to Legend, The Emptiness, A Place Where the Sun is Silent, Confessions, EPs, Try This With Your Eyes Closed, The Decade EP, Live albums, TBA, Non-album songs, Fatima Rusaka. Videography. References. External links, official website, Revival Recordings website.